WBKO, helping you stay connected.
Alabama. The Crimson Tide was able to regroup after losing Chuck Davis in their first conference game. Center Jamario Davidson and guard Ronald Steele filled the void, leading Alabama to second place in the West. Yesterday, an emotional Ole Miss team gave Kentucky all they could handle, leading by 3 at the half. But Patrick Sparks and Rajon Rondo powered the Cats to a 14-point win. Today, Kentucky meets Alabama. From the Gaylord Entertainment Center in Nashville, the Southeastern Conference Tournament continues with quarterfinal action. Today's second game matching the UK Wildcats against the Alabama Crimson Tide. And welcome back to Nashville, everyone. Tom Hammond and Larry Conley ready for this second quarterfinal game. Already South Carolina has upset the top-seeded Tennessee Vols to move into the semifinal round tomorrow. Just illustrating the unpredictable nature of this tournament. The title up for grabs, and that South Carolina win today proves it. Now Alabama and Kentucky, and certainly, Larry, Kentucky can't afford to sleepwalk through the first half as they did yesterday against Ole Miss.
And maybe a little payback time, too, because Alabama beat them up in Lexington earlier in the year, and right now Kentucky, hard to consider them a dark horse, but I guess maybe you have to.
Well, one thing we know, they have to control Jamario Davidson if they're going to beat the Crimson Tide today.
He really lit them up in Lexington. He had 28 points and 7 rebounds. He is the one problem that I think they really have on the inside. This guy's been a scoring machine since they lost Chuck Davis.
And, of course, Randolph Moore is prone to foul trouble if he's going to try to guard Jamario Davidson today. What about our keys to the game?
Well, the keys to the game, and these are two really good basketball teams. Take a look at Kentucky. It's got to be the Department of Defense. They've got to really defend in the inside, particularly against Jamario Davidson. For Alabama, it's got to be Jamario. He's the guy that's going to carry them inside.
So there are your Pontiac keys to the game as the Kentucky Wildcats square off against the Crimson Tide of Alabama. At stake is a berth in tomorrow's semifinals. Back with the starting lineups and the opening tap in just a moment.
The 2006 SEC Basketball Tournament is being brought to you by Dr. Pepper, by Alltel, by your local Toyota dealers, by Alabama Tourism, and by Advance Auto Parts.
Quarterfinal round of the SEC tournament from Nashville. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for today's game. First for the Wildcats of Kentucky. Bobby Perry, Randolph Morris, Patrick Sparks, and Joe Crawford. Rondo yesterday had 7 points and 7 assists against the Rebels. And Alabama goes with Brock, Hendricks, Steele, the leader in minutes played in the SEC, Hollinger, and Jamario Davidson, first-team All-SEC, a career-high 28 against Kentucky at Rupp Arena. And let's go to our Herd Around the Gatorade Cooler report with Dave Baker.
Hey, Tom, what they're talking about today is tempo. It's going to be a test of wills. Kentucky wants to make this game as quick as possible. Jamario Davidson had that huge game in Rupp Arena. How do you combat that? They don't feel like they can get around him. They feel like they have to do it and keep it from becoming a half-court game. The question is, can Davidson get to the spots that he wants?
All right, Dave, these are the two teams that have won the most tournament championships of any of the SEC teams. Kentucky, 25 tournament championships. Alabama, 6 times champion in the SEC tournament games. Kentucky leads Alabama 9-2. They've won the last 4 in a row. First time they've met, though, in tournament play since 1998. And Alabama controls the opening tap. Jamario Davidson taps it to Hendricks, and the Crimson Tide on the half court.
Yeah, Alabama man-to-man defense, great matchup right here. Steele and Rondo. Steele penetrates, the runner no good, and Rondo comes away with it. Sparks for 3. Chased down by Steele in the corner. Pretty quick trigger that time by Patrick Sparks. Looking to get it up and get it on that rim in a hurry. Davidson gives it up to Hollinger, or Hendricks it is. And Hendricks scores with the left hand, first bucket of the game.
Richard Hendricks, I think, one of the best freshmen in the conference.
It makes the All-SEC freshman team. 4th leading rebounder in the conference. boards a game.
Alabama's in a man-to-man defense. They played a lot of zone this year. 2-3 matchup, mainly because they're so short-handed.
And off Morris. Gives it back to Perry for 3. Kentucky firing 2 threes to open the game and not connecting on either one.
And they set the board. Not unusual for that, Tom. They launched more threes than anybody in the Southeastern Conference.
Hendricks.
Good help by Crawford that time on Hendricks. It forced him out of the post area into the corner.
Back out to Steele now with 8 to shoot. Slapped away from Steele from behind, but right to Davidson, who can't hit, and Perry wades in for the board.
I thought Kentucky's defense in the second half, in that first 15 minutes against Ole Miss yesterday, was outstanding.
Just inside the arc, Rondo puts up a brick, but Perry the offensive board. Well, Kentucky's gone 2 minutes now without a basket. Alabama has just 1. Sparks penetrates, finds Perry. Bobby Perry short, way short. Kept it alive for a moment and then commits the foul. Bobby Perry, as Kentucky misses its first 4 shots.
You want to see the only field goal so far? This is it. Hendricks on a roll down the lane and an easy shot over Morris.
Kentucky's going to press full court. Evan Brock will pitch it in for Bama. In easily to Steele, being checked in backcourt by Rondo.
2 very quick guards.
Steele was leader in minutes played in the SEC and also the best free throw shooter in Southeastern Conference. That's great to have in your point guard.
He actually early in the season was having back problems. Sometimes Mark Godfrey wanted to sit him out, didn't want to have him out there on the floor. It was hurting him so bad.
8 to shoot. Drive by Davidson, tried to dish it off, did. A lot of pushing, shoving, slapping in there, and a foul called.
I want to tell you what, between these two clubs, we're going to have a lot of hand-to-hand combat between these two today because they do like to go inside and battle.
Mark Gottfried, the former Alabama player, now their head coach in his 8th season, as Randolph Morris commits his first foul. You are probably familiar with the foul woes of Randolph Morris. That's blocked. This is badly in the free throw. Never got above the level of the rim on that one. There's Morris picking up his first foul. Brock's second free throw kicks high into the arms of Rondo. 2 rebounds already for Elijah.
Either one of these clubs are prospering very well right now.
Slow start to this quarterfinal game. Almost 3 minutes into it with a total of 2 points scored. Crawford. Nice move to the rim. Couldn't finish. And a putback underneath by Perry.
Good offensive rebound that time by Bobby Perry. Kentucky struggling, as is Alabama, getting any kind of shots off.
Kentucky's 1 of 6. Alabama is 1 of 3. That'll be a turnover. Hollinger chased it down in backcourt. First Alabama turnover.
Like a hockey game. Neither club seems to be able to get it into the basket right here as Perry comes up with the offensive rebound right here in the stick back. I think we'll end up better than 3-2 though, or 2-2.
Hockey game. Well, that was icing then by Alabama. So Kentucky will get it.
See, you know those rules better than I do. I don't know anything about hockey.
W. Smith with a 20-4 record in the SEC tournament, counting the win yesterday that ended the Ole Miss career of his friend Rod Barnes. Squared off against his son Brian and the Rebels.
Felix doing a nice job on Sparks.
Felix just came into the game and almost caused a turnover last hit by Jean Felix.
Felix is very, very quick too. Sparks will have difficulty even getting around him or shooting over him.
Also Alonzo G, the freshman, who's made the All-SEC freshman team in for Bama, and Lukas Korbenchuk is in for Kentucky. Sparks, runner, taken down by Hendricks. Kentucky now 1 of 7. Alabama's only 1 of 3. It's steal, and Orbjut got a piece of it, but did he commit the foul? Yes, he did. Orbjut, his first, and the third already against Kentucky. Just a tick over 4 minutes into the game, and a total of 4 points scored. Best of the conference presented by Chevrolet and American Revolution as we look at SEC tournament single game block leaders. And Andre Riddick is on there twice. He's the leading shot blocker in one SEC game with 9 blocks in 1993 and came up with 7 in a game in the 94 tournament.
There's a couple of potential shot blockers right there, but they're more interested in that popcorn than anything else.
A couple of good popcorn eaters, I would say. You think they're twins?
They see themselves on TV? Yeah, we're on. No matter how young you are, you always react to that camera, though.
Or old.
Or old.
They've done a better job eating that popcorn than these two teams have putting the ball in the basket, I can tell you that. Kentucky 1 of 7. Alabama 1 of 3. Second free throw upcoming. 4-2 Alabama after Steele sinks the pair. Told you, the best free throw shooter in the SEC. Sheree Thomas is in for the Wildcats. So is Ramel Bradley. There's a three-pointer by Joe Crawford.
Crawford started the game off yesterday against Ole Miss. He got a 3-point field goal and then had to sit out with 2 fouls in that first half.
Kentucky's first lead, and Crawford takes it away. Bradley's in front of the defense, puts it up, and came off.
That was tantalizing.
G with the rebound in the outlet to Steele and takes it all the way. He misses, but a putback by Davidson.
Bradley off the bench had a good afternoon yesterday, Tom, against Ole Miss.
That was his first game back after a broken hand had sidelined him for a couple of weeks. Nice move there to get to the rim and then a reach-in foul on Alabama. Felix with the foul.
Once again, nice move here by Joe Crawford as he nails the outside 3-point field goal. And down underneath, Alabama gets it right back with a 2-point goal as Jamario Davidson follows up with a good offensive finish.
Bradley, the sophomore from New York, missing the first free throw.
Number 1, Brandon Stockton in for the Wildcats.
Broke that hand on February 20th. And yesterday was his first game back. See what he did for the regular season. His first point makes it a 6-6 tie.
Kentucky with more pressure against Alabama. A pretty good idea. I mean, Alabama is shorthanded as they are. Why not go out there and put the pressure on them, make them play hard?
And, Alabama, one of the worst teams in the league in turnover margin.
Kentucky a lot deeper than Alabama too.
Hendricks. Shoot came out all the way out on him. Here's Steele against Bradley now. Three into space but missed the three. Rebounded by Bradley.
Nice pickoff by Bradley on the block out.
Orbjut had it, fumbled it, lost it. Orbjut beat the defense down court. All he had to do was make the catch and put it in. That'll send him to the bench.
It was a perfect pass, Tom. All he had to do was just catch it. Couldn't hold on to it.
That pretty well sums up the play of Kentucky's big men this season. With the exception of Randolph Morris, his bugaboo is foul trouble.
And he's still that man-to-man defense. Felix asking for the ball against Bradley. He can post him up. He's much larger in there.
Davidson sets a screen for Steele and left him open on the switch, and he hit the shot. Thomas left him on the switch, and Davidson knocks down the jumper for his 4th point.
I think Davidson has been poison to Kentucky this year. He slipped the screen and then slid to the outside, flared out, got it, nailed it. Hey, this guy is so good. Plays well with his back to the basket, but can fade out there and shoot that 12, 15-foot jump shot as well.
6 minutes in, 2-point Alabama lead.
Morris calling for it. Crawford can't get it to him. Three-pointer on its way and no good by Bradley. Kentucky 1 of 4 shooting from three-point range. Stockton guarding Steele. He missing a three, and it's rebounded by Morris. Here's the outlet pass to Crawford. Bradley runs the court, puts it up, and he missed it. Off Alabama, out of bounds. Wildcats will get it back. They can't make a layup.
But Tom, it's been Bradley both times that have missed those layups. I mean, nobody around him. Both of them wide open. Look.
And of course, Orbjud had one if he hadn't fumbled the ball out of bounds. Kentucky shooting 2 of 11. It's going to be a holding foul on Brock of Alabama. As Thomas made a cut to the baseline, Brock held him for his first foul. That was 2 against Bama.
The only positive thing I can say about Kentucky right now is the fact that they're just trailing by 2 points, shooting as poorly as they are.
Sparks in for Bradley. Robbie Moss in for the Wildcats. Here's a Kentucky foul away from the ball. Thomas. Ray Thomas commits his first. Kentucky turns it over after their 4th team foul.
What hurts there is the Sparks made that field goal. Wave it off and give Thomas the foul. Watch this again. You'll see right here on the left side. He stepped out. You got to stay still when you're making that stationary screen.
Coaches might want to take this tape and burn it.
Not a good start by either side.
Davidson spinning, leaned into Morris. That should be offensive. No, they called it on Morris, and it's his second foul. I thought it was clear that Davidson lowered his shoulder into it.
Oftentimes the official will judge the foul. If it can go one way or the other. Who creates the contact? Smith obviously not pleased with that call. Watch again right here.
That's clearly a foul on Davidson.
Again from up top here, you see Morris in pretty good position right there. He comes into it. He's the one who initiated the contact to start.
Means Randolph Morris goes to the Kentucky bench for the remainder of the half. And the clock shows 12:57. Looking at John Goble, who made that call. Tony Green, Pat Adams, John Goble, the officials. They missed that one.
Now with Morris out of the lineup, they go to a much smaller group of guys on the floor.
Quick three, good. Nice rebound by Alabama's Alonzo G, and then he's fouled. Robbie Moss commits his first.
16 fouls for Kentucky already, Tom, here in the first half.
Didn't think Kentucky could start much worse than they did yesterday until now. It's lucky that Alabama's been unable to take advantage. Pull up top by G, not good. Ray Thomas had inside position, and still Hendricks was able to get the rebound, but then he travels. Alabama's 3rd turnover. Ugly start to this game in the quarterfinal round. South Carolina at the moment licking their chops.
Well, Stockton out here running the club for Kentucky. They flatten out on a 1-4 offense. You'll see them come off of the screen on the opposite side. They'll try to free Sparks if they can. Perry tries to work across the lane.
Kentucky's gone 3.5 minutes without a field goal. They missed the last 4 shots. 5 in a row. That's Stockton on that miss.
Something Kentucky has struggled with all year long. They have not been able to shoot the ball consistently well.
Shooting 15% to open this game. They are lucky. They're only down 3. Alabama shooting 33%. Pocket 5. Hollinger made it with a shot clock at 1. Clutch basket by Brandon Hollinger. from Mobile.
Stockton backed off a little bit, and he took full advantage of it.
Steal, but he stepped out of bounds. He had the steal, but then stepped on the out-of-bounds line. Give it back to Kentucky. That's about the only thing that's gone right for the Wildcats in this first half. .13 left in the opening half, and 11-6 Alabama lead. And Alltel presents the Alltel SEC Trivia question. Kentucky's won the most SEC tournament titles at 25. Who is second? How many have they won? If you were paying attention at the start of the broadcast, you might know that answer. Stay tuned. We'll have the answer for you in the second half.
Let's take a look right what happened right here on the out-of-bounds play. Watch this. Freeze it right there. Tony Green, the official, is standing out of bounds. The ball hits him in the nose. When the ball did hit him in the nose, whoever touched it last, it goes back to the other team. That official is in play. If he's in bounds, it doesn't make any difference. But if he's out of bounds, then the ball has to come back. So Kentucky will get it again because it hit him in the nose. That's Pat Adams, another official. Tony Green stood there and took one for the team.
Yeah. I like the way you said that, freeze it. It kind of sounded like somebody else we know.
Yeah.
His name Dickey.
I know him. As do millions of other college basketball fans.
Only 1 point in the last 4.5 and counting for the Wildcats. There's a traveling call. Turn it over. Have you ever seen a Kentucky team look much worse than this?
No, they've really gotten off to a very poor start here. Tubby Smith, I think part of the reason he's out here with this full court pressure is just try to shake things up, get his club going. A little more refocus here. I mean, they did the same thing in the first half yesterday against Ole Miss.
They're on the pace to score 24 in the game. 10 to shoot. Steal. Orbjute jumps out on him. 3 to shoot. They do get the ball up there, but it's a shot clock violation. Didn't hit the rim. Well, Kentucky plays a little defense, and Alabama, with a rough offensive possession, turns it over 4 times.
Yeah, but this crowd wants a little offense right now. They've seen enough defense. They want to see some O's.
It's not exactly like Alabama's lighting it up either. 15:45 was the last time Kentucky scored a field goal. Clock ticking down to 10. Bobby Perry's three-pointer is short. Orbjute offensive rebound. Put it down where the little guys can get it. Steal swipes it. Turnaround Davidson. Jamario Davidson connects. He had 7.
That's a bad matchup for Perry. He's got about 3 inches on him. He can turn around and shoot that baseline jumper and work with him with his back to the basket, too.
Bobby Perry takes it in. Right underneath. Another Kentucky miss. They missed their last 7. Davidson lost it out of bounds. Orbjute tried to take a charge, but it was just a turnover.
Once again, Alabama gets the ball down inside of Jamario Davidson. You can see Perry right there trying to defend. A turnaround baseline jump shot. Boy, he did that a lot in Lexington and really hurt the Wildcats up there. He's doing it again here today in Nashville.
With his career-high 28 at Rupp Arena. Made him the SEC Player of the Week after that performance. Another Kentucky miss, but Bobby Perry for the offensive board. He already has 5 rebounds.
He's got a lot to grab.
Perry for 3. There's Kentucky miss. G rips it away from Sims and Moss. Bobby Moss falls for the foul as he attacks. His second foul.
Tubby Smith is looking at a very inept offense right now. They just have not been able to do anything with the basketball.
6 points in 11 minutes, and they've just committed their 7th foul. Felix at the line.
At the line, John Felix for Alabama.
A world traveler, this young man.
Born in the Republic of Congo, moved to Paris in high school to live with his uncle and to play a better style of basketball, and then played soccer till he was age 7. He came to the United States to Birmingham to go to high school. Bell South Fast Access DSL, the official provider of internet services for JP Sports during the SEC tournament.
The Leaks had a much better year last year. He was better at shooting the long-range shot. Quite as effective this year.
Second free throw good. 9-point Alabama lead, their biggest. A 9-0 run over the last 6 minutes plus. Debbie Smith trying to find some kind of combination that can click. He's tried about every combination he has over there, and nothing has worked. Bradley penetrates. Rondo gets it to Perry. Made the ball fake. Collision, no call. Perry got the bucket.
Pretty good move, and it was a good no call. Steele took a little flop that time.
First basket for Kentucky since the 15:45 mark. As poorly as they played, they're only down 7. Delaware Davidson, didn't matter. A fall-away shot. Jamario Davidson's feeling it. Davidson has hit 3 of his 4 shots. He has 9 points.
He likes playing against Kentucky. Bradley had a shot that time, passed it up.
Crawford dribbling through traffic to lay it in. Back-to-back buckets by the Cats now. G, a three-pointer, no good. Offensive rebound. Oh, that's G that gets the rebound. Steele missing a 3. And Brock can't handle it. He and Bradley scrapping for it. It'll be Alabama's ball as Brock goes flying over the press table. (17-10), Alabama leading Kentucky with 7:22 left in the half. Slow starting game. As Kentucky has improved to 25% shooting now. Hard to say that's an improvement. Jefferson Pilot Sports and Aaron's teaming up for our biggest giveaway ever in the Boatload of Prizes contest. Log on to jpsports.com. Register to win a brand new boat filled with prizes, including a big screen TV and home entertainment system from Aaron's. One lucky fan will win a prize package valued at over $60,000. Visit jpsports.com for official rules and regulations. Alabama's only shooting 36% on 5 of 14. Kentucky's 1 of 8 from three-point range. Alabama's 0 for 5. Alabama's turned it over 5 times. 3 turnovers by Kentucky. Crawford and Perry have scored 9 of Kentucky's 10 points. Crawford has 5. Perry has 4. As Kalen Sims commits his first foul.
Trying to guard the ever-present and very quick Jamario Davidson. That time deciding to take it to the rim. Davis is fading away.
Davidson with 7 points and 3 rebounds here.
Jamario Davidson,
3 of 4. Kentucky's committed 8 fouls too, Larry, and Bama only 2. Davidson's normally a good free throw shooter, 78%.
I read a lot about this young man when he was coming out of high school in Atlanta at Wheeler High School. He was a terrific basketball player, and when he went over to Alabama, I figured Mark Godfrey had a pretty good one. He does. Wheeler High School, Metro Atlanta, state champion. Stone Mountain as a junior. Crawford 3. No good. Tapped once and then hauled down by Felix. Emma with the ball, still up 7. Steele, nice pass. But then they turn it over. Looked like he threaded the needle with the pass to Hendricks, but he couldn't control it. That's the only thing keeping Kentucky in the game is the turnovers by Alabama. But Kentucky hasn't gotten a single point off the 6 Alabama miscues. 1-4 offense again by Kentucky. Bradley trying to use it. Goes baseline.
Hendricks picked him up and rejects it. And Bama has it. Felix out on the dribble. Steele fakes the 3. Felix takes the 3. Got it.
A rare make for him this year. He sees such a line drive. His ball is so flat when he releases it.
Sparks back on the court, nearly walked. Shot was partially blocked. Luckily for Sparks, it just stood there and he reclaimed it. Bradley diving to the rim was open, didn't get him the pass. Here's Crawford. Pull up. Short. Way short. Hendricks, easy board. 6 minutes to go in the half. 17% Kentucky shooting. Davidson. Sheree Thomas got a piece of it. Crawford pushes the other way. Crossover dribble against Brock. Feeds it back to Bradley. Sparks comes to get it. Penetration by Sparks. Dishes to Thomas. Shot no good. What else is new? Thomas got his own rebound. Now Sparks spotted for the three. No good. Steele had it for a moment. Now Davidson claims it for the Crimson Tide. Kentucky 1 of 10 from three-point range.
It's maybe the worst shooting exhibition I have seen Kentucky have in a long time.
Wildcats shooting 16%, 4 of 25. Jump hook, Davidson off the glass, no good. Bradley the other way. Knocked away from Sparks. Felix all over him, and Sparks got away with an elbow to the chest of Felix. They called a foul on Jean Felix, his second foul. I thought Sparks hit him right in the chest with an elbow.
Only the third team foul registered by Alabama here in the first half. Go back and take a look at it again. Sparks has got the ball. Felix is up on him. He kind of pushed off with that right arm.
He did, pushed off right in the chest. Davidson gets a rest, so does Felix.
Maybe give both these teams a rest right now.
Sparks coming off the curl, feeds it back out to Sims. The three-pointer is good. Raquelin Sims, only a 25% three-point shooter on the season. It's a well-needed basket by Kentucky. Steele's on the bench, so Hollinger at the point, and there's the basket underneath by Evan Brock of Alabama, his first one. Sparks.
Well, I say Alabama is not allowing Kentucky to get any second shot. No attempt at an offensive rebound. No one from Kentucky crashing that offensive glass.
Patrick Sparks 0 for 5. Under 4 minutes.
Steele almost lost that one.
Hollinger, partially blocked by Thomas. And Sims gives it up to Rondo. Alabama hustling back on defense. Trailing the play. Sims on a pass from Thomas.
Replay. Nicely done.
Raquelin Sims, 5 points off the Kentucky bench. Pulls the Wildcats back within 7 at the 3.5-minute mark. Timeout, Bama.
I'll show you a couple of Kentucky baskets. These are the last two that they have gotten. They haven't had many in this first half. Raquelin Sims with that long-range three. He's not made a lot of those recently, and a nice move down inside as he catches and drops it in off the glass.
So Sims scores the last 5 Kentucky points. That'll make your hair stand on end. That 15% shooting most of the first half.
Make your hair turn blue, too.
This tournament telecast featuring Kentucky, brought to you in part by the Kentucky Farm Bureau.
You know, oftentimes, Tom, when you set up in October and you start working on your offense, you can do all you want. The execution can be there, the cuts, the screens, the passing. But as a coach, you can't go out and shoot the shots for them. You got to depend on your players to do that. You draw up the plays, you execute, then the finish is being able to put it in the net. They haven't been able to do that in the first half.
Steele walks it up court. And Alabama sets it up on the half court. A 7-point advantage. Davidson. Blocked by Jagaria Lean, who came in at the dead ball. And then blocked again. He rejected Davidson that time. 2 blocks for Aline in that possession. Rondo lobs it to him, and Aline with a throwdown and one.
Tommy found him a man. He's been searching that bench all afternoon.
Jamario Davidson commits the foul, the biggest
tear of the day for Shagari Aline. One rejection. Another rejection. And then hustling down the court. Rondo finds him. He'll be at the line when we return to Nashville. 22-17, Bama leading Kentucky. Just under 3 minutes to go in the half. And for all the latest information on SEC basketball, look at the Toyota Info Center at jpsports.com. That's the Toyota Info Center, jpsports.com, your online destination for coverage of SEC basketball. (22-17) Alabama, 257. Shagari Aline, 7'3", the biggest player ever to play for the Wildcats, gave the Big Blue faithful a lift with a couple of blocks on one end and a dunk on the other end, and a chance for a three-point play.
He just got his average.
Free throw is good. Donna Smith leading the Kentucky Cheers. They're within 4. Can you believe it?
Full court pressure. Steele handles it easily.
Davidson in long range. Aline checking him. Front of the rim by Brock. Not a good shot. Here's Rondo. Alabama's missed the last 5 shots. Rondo tries to penetrate. Back outside. Crawford long three is good.
Tom Aline has gotten this club in gear. Mark Godfrey now trying to find an answer.
Alabama's missed 5 in a row. 33% shooting for the Crimson Tide. They were unable to take full advantage of that long Kentucky dry spell. Less than 2 minutes in the half. Hollinger penetrates. Dishes to Brock. Partially blocked by Aline. Loose ball claimed by Bradley. Saves it to Rondo. Kentucky looks for the lead. As improbable as that sounds. Bradley's three. No good. Crawford kept it alive, but Hollinger has it for Bama. Running into front court. Steele with a move on Bradley. Blocked by Aline.
Cards. They got a player control. Watch this, Tom. Down inside, Aline with the block again. Steele out of control, runs right over the Kentucky player. I wasn't sure who it was. Was it Bradley down there?
I'm not sure either, Larry.
I think it was.
The foul was on Steele. It's the 5th against Alabama. Let's see.
Steele right there. Noah Sims that took the blow.
The 68 charge taken by Kentucky this season. Their opponents only had 21. So Kentucky with the ball within a point. Patrick Sparks back on for the Cats.
Rondo telling his club, let's get this offense set up.
Sparks comes off a curl. Perry sets the screen, then dives to the rim. Couldn't get it to him. Sparks thought about the three. Spinning his way and back to Perry. Rondo's going to do something with it. 4 to shoot. Rondo, a three-pointer, a rare shot. Front of the rim, no good. Not a good possession by Kentucky. Davidson the rebound. Inside the final minute, Davidson has 5 boards so far.
Lead way out away from that basket. Good play.
Picked off by Perry.
Tom, they can hold this for the last shot.
Bobby Smith says, let's take that timeout, that 30-second one that doesn't carry over, and plan the strategy for the final 30 seconds. The shot clock and game clock even at 30. And Kentucky will have another chance to take the lead. And coming up at halftime, we'll have analysis, highlights, stats, and more. That's coming up at the break, presented by Alabama Tourism.
I find it almost improbable that Kentucky has a chance to take the lead here with the basket.
Announcers for this game selected and compensated by Jefferson Pilot Sports. Any use of the broadcast without the express permission of the Southeastern Conference and Jefferson Pilot Sports is prohibited. For this first half, hitting 8 of 32, 25% shooting. Alabama, 8 of 25, 32% shooting.
Nothing to write home about.
Bradley will pitch it in. The Cats will try to take the final shot of the half.
Steele's going to back off and just let Rondo hold the basketball out here.
Into his offense. 10 to shoot. Not making a move toward the basket. They throw it away. Bradley threw a bad pass, and then Rondo.
Look at a jump ball.
Ties him up. Possession arrow, Kentucky. What a break for the Wildcats. Rondo with those quick hands, able to force the held ball after Bradley just made an atrocious pass.
You know, Tom, that was almost a reflexive reaction, I thought, by Rondo to turn around and just see the ball there, and he just grabbed it.
Bradley's going to go to the bench after that bad pass. Stockton's in. He'll pitch it inbound. Lob it into Aline. The big fella. Put it down! The unlikeliest of heroes. Shigari Aline gives Kentucky its first lead since they were up 6-5. Alabama goes the last 4.5 minutes of the half without a point.
Tom, watch this play. The ball almost is thrown in the rim. Aline grabs it just a few tenths of a second left before it went through.
Let's go to Dave Baker.
Tubby, the biggest guy to ever play in Kentucky history, is giving you the biggest lift here in the first half.
Yeah, we couldn't make a shot, and Shigari's been playing well in practice. He's been giving us a lot easier. This is, they had a lot of size on us.
Sure.
That last play, the blocks, and to make a three-point play and to get that basket at the end, that's a big lift for us and for Shigari as well. Hope we can carry it over in the second half.
Thanks, Tubby. Best of luck. Boy, what a big lift they did get from the big man, Shigari Aline. The Cats have come back. They lead the Tide by 1.
SEC basketball is brought to you by your local Toyota dealers, by Aaron's Sales and Lease Ownership, by Advance Auto Parts, by Gatorade, and by Chevrolet.
Well, Kentucky fans have something to dance about. We're at halftime, and the Wildcats lead it by 1 over the Crimson Tide as we continue with Alabama tourism at the break. We're inside Gaylord Entertainment Center. Dave Neal back alongside Barry Booker. And Barry, my first thought is after that 20 minutes is Alabama's got to be shooting themselves right now in the foot, because they held Kentucky to less than 30%, around 25% shooting, and they trail by 1.
And Dave, in a low-scoring game like that, all you need is a couple of minutes where you get your jump shots to fall, get some transition play going, and you have the lead, as Kentucky does right now. I think they need to try to force this to an up-tempo game, and when it slows down, try to jam it inside to Randolph Morris, who didn't play very much in the first half with those 2 fouls.
Yeah, Kentucky had to go to their bench to get some points. They got some from Sims, and of course, Shigari Aline, the big 7-footer, comes in and has a couple of key baskets, especially one late, right before the horn sounded.
And Shigari, though, with all his size inside, if Kentucky can toss that ball in there to him and get him going, whoever they have inside, that's the way they need to go to try to win this ball game.
Well, Kentucky will have to win 4 games in 4 days if they want to win SEC tournament title number 26, but we've got a long way to go. We'll have more right after this. It is halftime. Game number 2 of quarterfinal Friday. Kentucky leads by 1 despite a cold shooting first half. Well, during halftime of tomorrow's second semifinal telecast, we'll bring you the Dr. Pepper Shot for a Million. One lucky fan will try to win $1 million from Dr. Pepper. Back inside the Gaylord Entertainment Center, Dave Neal, along with Barry Booker. You said all along that this is I guess a classic case of great point guards leading their teams in the SEC. So far, what are your thoughts about this matchup?
Well, it hadn't been very eventful, really. Ronald Steele has made some good plays, but hadn't been all that productive, and neither is Rajon Rondo. But I think it will come down to those two players getting their guys into good shots in the second half.
Yeah, and as far as Davidson's concerned, he's the only one that's really scoring 9 points. Where else do they have to go?
Well, I think they can get some help from the wings. Jean-Felix, another guy who can knock down some shots because he is going to put it up.
Yes, there's no question about that. Well, let's take a look at our Geico scoreboard as it's a busy day around the country in college basketball. Duke holds on to beat Miami in the ACC tournament in Greensboro. NC State losing by 14 in the second half to Wake Forest. That would be a big-time upset there. Ohio State over Penn State earlier today. And Wisconsin losing right now to Indiana. As a matter of fact, that is now a final. Mike Davis gets to coach another game. Texas and Texas Tech. Longhorns win by 7, and Texas A&M just pounding Colorado out in Big 12 tournament action. Here at the SEC tournament in Nashville, Tennessee, it's halftime. Kentucky up by 1 in a low-scoring affair. Back with more right after this. Fans, follow JP Sports coverage of SEC basketball all season long by logging on to jpsports.com to check out the Toyota Info Center. The Toyota Info Center on jpsports.com, your online destination for JP Sports coverage of SEC basketball. As we come back to the Gaylord Entertainment Center, got an email from Russell Keith in Balad, Iraq, who's watching his Crimson Tide. Like to say hello to him and all his friends and stay safe halfway around the world. Our score here, though, Kentucky leads it by 1. And as we go courtside to Tom and Larry, that was not a pretty half of basketball, but I got to think Alabama right now is feeling the wrath of their coach. I mean, you would expect them to have had a double-figure lead as poorly as Kentucky shot it.
Hey, that's the understatement of the tournament so far. I mean, Alabama, as poorly as Kentucky played, unable to pull away. In fact, Alabama scores the fewest points they've scored in a first half all season long. It was a frustrating first half for both teams. Were you able to dig any highlights out of there?
I'm going to tell you what, I was beginning to worry about that. I thought maybe we might be able to get some. Well, we do have. Let's show you a couple of them here. Out of the first half, start with Kentucky. Joe Crawford right here with a nice little crossover move down inside. Coming right back, Bobby Perry with a nice move on the right side. Very few field goals in that first half for Kentucky, but the star was Sha'Carri Alline. That was the last field goal of the first half. This was his first one on a nice pitch, running the floor. That ended up being a three-point play for Alabama. Ronald Steele with a miss right here. Jamario Davidson with what he does so well, rebounding, putting it back in, but he can turn and shoot that baseline jump shot too. Davidson, then Jean-Felix. One of his rare three-point field goals so far this year. Got that one, and Alabama trails by 1.
Kentucky closed the half on a 10-0 run, and 5 of those 10 points from Sha'Carri Alline. Here's the sad story of the stats. 27% shooting for Kentucky. They're in front. 32% Alabama. See the three-point shooting, the free throws, 10 for Alabama, but they hit only 5 of them. Kentucky 2 of 3. Rebounds in favor of Alabama, but they've committed more turnovers. And Sha'Carri Alline lighting a fire under Kentucky. The bench going crazy over there. Tubby Smith looking down his bench, trying to find some combination that would work. Went fishing and put Alline into the game. He caught the big one, and Sha'Carri Alline scored 5 of the Wildcats' 10 points to close the half. Halftime score 23-22 Kentucky. Second half action coming up. You've been watching At the Break, presented by Alabama Tourism.
Central Bank. People who know you.
SEC basketball is being brought to you by Geico, by Q Motor Oil, by Bell South, by Cooper Tires, and by Pontiac.
I hope they have the game on all those TVs.
I hope so, too. Hope those two guys sitting right there pointing are helping us.
Roger Roebuck, Dave Burchett in our control truck. Let's go to Dave Baker. A moment ago, he spoke with Mark Gottfried.
Well, that's a strange half.
Well, I think we played pretty good for most of the half.
Yeah.
I think right at the end there, we gave up some transition baskets, but we got 9 turnovers and we've missed 5 foul shots. I think those right there probably hurt us more than anything, but our guys have played pretty good.
All right, thanks, Mark. Best of luck second half. That's Mark Gottfried, Tom.
It was indeed a strange half. Kentucky comes back with Perry Randolph Morris, who played only 5 minutes in foul trouble. Rondo, Crawford, and Sparks. Alabama comes with Hollinger, Brock, Steele, Hendricks, and Davidson. Morris guarding Hendricks. That means Perry has Davidson.
Rondo with a good fight over the screen, slapping it away, and he's going to be free.
Rondo, after slapping it away from Steele, missed the layup, put it up no good, and Hollinger the other way. Hendricks. Rondo misses a wide open layup all by himself. Randolph Morris up and under Hendricks, who fouled him.
How many times today has Kentucky missed the wide open layup? Rondo with a good defensive play, and then he's all by himself. I mean, nobody around him. He looks back. All he's got to do is just lay it up.
Looked like he was unsure whether to dunk it or lay it in, and kind of came up in between.
Exactly what he was thinking. Dunk or layup. When you have that kind of indecision at the end, usually it's a bad situation.
Then the Hendricks basket. After the foul, Morris missed the first free throw. Here's the second. Got in. First point of the game for Randolph Morris. Kentucky guards Rondo and Sparks are combined 0 for 10. A steal, taken away by Sparks. Here's Rondo in a hurry. Sparks was at the three-point line wanting it, couldn't get it to him. Instead, it's Crawford missing a three. On the floor, claimed by Bama. Brock gives it up to Steele. Perry shoots over him, missed it. Rondo knocked it away from Davidson. How about that?
He got up, didn't he? Slapped it right to Crawford.
Here is Crawford. Three-pointer after trailing the play, and Joe Crawford knocks down the three. He has 11 points to lead Kentucky.
I got to tell you, this is one of the strangest games I have seen all year.
Joe Crawford has hit 3 of 5 from the three-point arc. That's in the midst of Kentucky's 27% shooting overall.
Kentucky now back in that man-to-man defense. Alabama trying to find an opening.
Steele short on his three-point attempt, but the rebound to Davidson blocked by Perry.
Davidson just got too far underneath the basket.
And Morris on the throwdown beats the defense down court.
Kentucky doing a nice job. Crawford filling in, long range with the three. And then once again, down inside, Rondo finds Morris, breaking to the other end. He knows how to finish.
Big man runs the court, and you get the jam. Kentucky has its biggest lead. Best of the Conference presented by Chevrolet. As we look at the SEC tournament single game steals leaders. Big logjam at the top of that list. Connor, Prickett, Tinch, Cleveland, Swearingen, all with 7 steals.
Terry Connor, part of that 87 Alabama team that Jim Farmer played on. He was honored as a legend today at halftime of this game.
Kentucky has 5 thefts today, only 1 for the Crimson Tide. Kentucky has outscored Bama 16-2 since 4.5 left in the first half of play. We chronicled the bad shooting by Sparks and Rondo of Kentucky. Well, the Alabama guards. Steele is 0 for 6, and Hollinger is 1 for 2. Here's Steele with a three-pointer. It's good.
Well, that got him off the mark. He now has his first field goal.
5 points. Morris rolls to the basket after a screen from Rondo. Couldn't get it to him as the Alabama defense sags back. Now that's Perry open. He passed up a three. Screens for Sparks. His three-pointer, no good. He's missed all 6 of his shots today. Steele can put Alabama into a tie or perhaps the lead. It'll be a foul. It's going to be a reach-in on Rondo, I think.
Pretty tough. It is pretty tough to contain Ronald Steele. As good a defender as Rondo is, and he's one of the best. Steele's very quick with that basketball.
2 shots at the line for Ronald Steele. the sophomore from Birmingham. John Carroll Catholic, twice Mr. Basketball. First time that had happened in Alabama high school history. Twice All-State on the state championship team. Twice the 6A Player of the Year. All-State football player, too, and in the National Honor Society. Last year. Quite an extensive resume for Ronald Steele. And in this season, an all-SEC performer, first team all-SEC.
Alabama's a little half-court trap here.
Fourth tie of the game. Ball in the hands of Rondo. Crawford for three. Tapped by Perry. Perry still scrapping with Hendricks. Jump ball call. Bobby Perry doing a good job on the offensive glass. Possession arrow will give it to Kentucky.
Yeah, he and Morris were doing a nice job inside that time, keeping the ball alive. Kentucky will get it back.
Perry has 7 rebounds. Leads the team.
Kentucky got that 5-point lead, and Steele put 5 points in the basket to tie him up. What I like, players who rise to the occasion. When the team is struggling a little bit, the good ones always seem to come.
Rondo penetrates. Floater's no good. He still hasn't made a field goal, but there's Morris to clean it up.
Kentucky's starting to hit that offensive glass, which they did not do in that first half.
Perry did there to keep it alive. There's possession back. And Morris with a putback off the offensive board. Morris has 5 points all this half. He only played 5 minutes in early foul trouble in the first half. Steele with a long three. Came out a little out of his range, and Morris rips down the rebound. Rondo bounce pass to Crawford. And a stagnant offense now. Everybody's standing around a bit as Tubby calls a play from the sideline.
Move Crawford out to the point now. Put Sparks and Rondo on the wings.
Perry over Hendricks. Won't go. Tapped by Morris. Then rebounded by Davidson. His 7th board.
Perry had a good look at the basket 2 times. I mean, he was right in front, about 6 feet out.
Felix drives on Crawford. Crawford got a piece, and Morris has it. And then is called for the travel. Tough luck for Randolph Morris, who ripped down the ball in a crowd, lost his balance, fell down, and it's the 5th turnover by Tubby's Cats. But Randolph Morris making his presence known in the second half. Here was a putback basket. Kentucky by 2. Two-point Kentucky lead, 31-29 with 15:28 left. And here's the answer to our All-Tel trivia question. Kentucky's won 25 SEC tournament titles, but who ranks 2nd? How many have they won? The answer is 6, and it's Alabama. 6 times they've been the champion, most recently in 1991. And there's the man that took them to the championship, Whip Sanderson. Wimp watching the game from press row. Tennessee ranks 3rd in all-time SEC tournament championship. And 30-second timeout taken by Ronald Steele when he was surrounded by the Kentucky defense. So Kentucky swarming on the inbounds play by Alabama causes the Crimson Tide to spend a timeout. These two teams squared off earlier in the season at Rupp Arena. Crimson Tide still reeling from the loss of their best player, Chuck Davis, the previous Saturday. Kentucky enjoying the return of Randolph Morris from suspension. The game close throughout, but the Tide's Jamario Davidson scored 18 of his career-high 28 in the second half to lead Alabama to a 68-64 rare Rupp Arena victory, ending Kentucky's 23-game winning streak over SEC West teams. We mentioned with Davidson with that big game, 28 points. Well, he's been held in check here today. Davidson only has 9 and has not scored since 8:15 in the first half.
Kentucky's defense is stiffened, much as it did against Ole Miss yesterday in the last 5 minutes of the first half, first 15 minutes of that second half.
Here's Davidson. Picked up by Morris, goes up and under, missed the shot. And Perry has another board. 8 rebounds. Lob pass. Morris missed it. The pass a little off the mark from Rondo. Another miss at the rim by Kentucky, and then Rondo commits the foul. Number 2.
Once again, you could see Kentucky in their offense. Rondo, knowing Morris is going to be there, just couldn't gather it in long enough to throw it down. Just that little hesitancy threw him off balance.
Kentucky's shooting is still under 30%, 27%. Alabama's right at 30. It's not been a pretty game. Laid in by Alonzo G, his first basket.
That's a good matchup for Rondo down underneath. He could post him up, and he did that time.
5th tie of the game. Morris, all the way too short. Rebounded by G. Alabama a chance to reclaim the lead. Alonzo has 8 rebounds.
Another one of those good freshmen in the league who played well this year
on the All-SEC freshman team. Steele against Rondo. Backs up. Nowhere to go. Didn't travel, though. Pat Adams says he slipped, never left the floor. Meanwhile, a wrestling match going on underneath the basket involving Sparks and Felix. Patrick Sparks whistled for the personal. His first and 3 against the Wildcats.
Alabama's offense right here. Nice bounce pass inside G. Really just spun on Rondo. He couldn't do anything about that. There was good positioning. Oftentimes, you wonder why a guy gets that open. It's simply because he's put himself in position to receive the pass, do something with it when he catches it.
Stubby Smith gets Bradley, Moss, and Aline back in the game. Shagari Aline with his 5 points and 2 blocked shots lit a fire into the Cats late in the first half. Three-pointer good by G.
G has really picked it up here.
He scored 5 straight points for Alabama. They take a 3-point lead. Here's Aline down underneath, and Davidson held him. Number 2 on Jamario. That's the second foul against Alabama.
I think Mark Gottfried is wondering if that score is correct. Yeah, they just changed it.
They had 37-31. It's 34. That's correct. Aline wants the lob at the rim, and said Bradley's pass was deflected and stolen. Bad pass, Bradley. Here's G. He'll shoot 2 after he was fouled by Moss.
Oh, Ronald Stewart, a nice pass too by G, breaking down that lane.
But Ramel Bradley, for about the 3rd time today, made a very poor pass. And Alabama with a chance to get 2 already. G has scored the last 5 Alabama points. He'll step to the line for a pair. There's the talented freshman from Palm Beach, Florida.
Shagari Aline lit a fire under this Kentucky squad in the first half. It looks like G is doing it here in the second half.
For Alabama. He's still no good. He's only a 50% free throw shooter. Joe Crawford replaces Bradley.
Thing that G needs to work on in his career is shooting free throws.
From Dwyer High School in Palm Beach, twice they won the 5A Florida State Championship in all state of it. He scored the last 6 for the Crimson Tide. They're now up 4. Crawford open for a moment. Felix recovers. Moss looking inside. Aline trying to post Davidson. Instead is Thomas at long range. Moss off the curl. Open shot. Rimmed out. And rebounded by Steele. Steele comes to get it. Rondo with him. Brock cut off. 10 to shoot. Steele step back shot. No good. Tapped up and in by Davidson.
Bulls had a good offensive rebound. I mean, that right hand went out there, grabbed it, and put it back up before Kentucky can come back and try to take it out of his hand.
First basket of the half for Davidson. They call Rondo.
for the foul. That's his third.
Watch Rajon Rondo. Go back. Let's take it earlier when Steele went back, put it up off of the rim, and now watch that follow-up by Davidson. He finds so many ways to score for this Alabama team.
Alabama in the midst of an 8-0 run as Rondo sits down, having committed his third foul. Rondo has not scored in the game, and neither has Sparks. Double team Davidson. They find G open, and he lays it in. Alonzo G. 8 in the half. And an 8-point lead. Here's Crawford trying to throw it down. Off the mark. Steele in a hurry. Back to G. Down. And Alonzo G. has lit a fire under the Crimson Tide.
What a spurt by Alabama, led by the freshman, Alonzo G. Tom, watch the run out here. Alabama doing a terrific job of just catching and going down the floor. Kentucky reeling right now.
Alonzo G has scored 10 of the last 12 Crimson Tide points.
Take a look at it again. Nice pass right here. G with the catch and the finish. Kentucky Tardy getting back. Alabama taking full advantage. Mark Godfrey, arms folded, feeling real good right now.
Scored 10 of their last 12. The freshman giving them a 10-point lead, equals their biggest. Of 9 on their last 6 possessions as finally somebody started to hit the basket in this game. In the game, Alabama still only shooting 38.5%. Kentucky 25.5% shooting for the game. 12-0 run by the Crimson Tide over the last nearly 5 minutes. Morris wants it. Low block. Can't get it to him as the defense sags. Now the entry pass. Puts it up and in.
Nicely done. He got it up against one of the best shot blockers in the SEC, Jamario Davidson.
Using that little jump hook, using his body to protect the ball, got it down to 7 points. Steele lost it. Sparks picks it up. And it'll be on Steele trying to get the ball back. Personal foul on Ronald Steele. That's his second foul. Randolph Morris got a basket for the Cats the last possession as he goes over Davidson, number 33, over number 33. That's Kentucky's total, but they're down. Bell South Fast Access DSL, the official provider of internet services for JP Sports during the SEC tournament. In the second half, Alabama's hit 7 of 14 shots. Somebody finally had to warm up. It was Crimson Tide. 50% shooting in the second half, while Kentucky struggles at 27% for the second half and for the game. Alonzo G, 10 of Alabama's last 12 points.
How about those 8 rebounds? I mean, he has done everything.
And he's 4 for 4 in this second half for those 10 points. The margin is 8. Preston LeMaster is in the game for Kentucky. Preston LeMaster, the walk-on senior. Little U scored 12 points against Ole Miss in a good shooting effort. Here he is in at crunch time. Randolph Morris lost it, taken away by Brock.
Good help on the backside that time. Brock snuck in there and got it away from Morris before he had a chance to go up.
LeMaster defending Felix. Here's the entry pass to Davidson. The sweeping hook goes down. Whoa! Shades of Cliff Hagan.
How about that? Gorgeous shot right there. Don't see that one very often.
13 points for Davidson. Sims for 3.
Caleb Sims playing probably the best game he's played since December.
Bothered with back trouble. For 3 to make it a 7-point lead. Sparks defending Steele. The Masters on Felix. And he fouled him in the act of shooting a 3. Felix made the ball fake, got LeMaster off the floor.
For those of you who are too young, I will initiate you in the right-handed hook of Cliff Hagan. That's what it looked like when it was shot back in the 50s, as Tom referred to him earlier. Nice move by Jamario Davidson, and then Rakalen Sims with a modern-day three.
But Felix, fouled by LeMaster, in the act of shooting a three, will step to the line. Not a good free throw shooter, but the first one finds the mark.
There is no trajectory at all on that shot. I mean, it is so flat when it leaves his hand. Barely skims the rim.
It's 54% of his free throws. Got to a three. Alabama's hit 10 of 17 at the free throw line. Kentucky's only attempted 5, hitting 3. Here's Sparks for 3. First basket of the game for Patrick Sparks. It's a three-pointer.
Well, back-to-back threes, one by Sims and one by Sparks, have gotten them back within 6.
Just past the midway point of the second half. Steele trying to answer short, but Felix picks up the rebound. Fans wanted to travel. Here's Felix, three-pointer, no good. Long rebound. Sims blocked out his own man, LeMaster. Didn't matter. It goes out of bounds.
Sims was just finding anybody to block out.
Tubby likes that.
Patrick Sparks right here with a good long-range three, and tell you what, he can be streaky. He can get on a roll here. He can make 5 or 6 in a row.
Sparks penetrates, finds Crawford a long three. 3 times 3. 3 straight trifectas for the Wildcats. And they're back within 3.
The ultimate weapon in college basketball, that three-point shot.
Crawford's hit 4 of 7 from the arc, and now there's a spring in the step of the Wildcats again.
Kentucky in his own defense.
G, three-pointer, good!
Well, that freshman has been terrific in this second half.
13 points in that second half. Back up by 6. Sparks another three. Another made basket. 4 straight three-point baskets by the Cats. This is what we expected from the start as things heat up in Nashville. Felix, open three. No good, but rebounded by Davidson. Back to Felix again. Short on this one. He got his own. Double team in the corner. Out to Davidson to steal. They set it up. Third opportunity on this possession by Alabama. Brock back to Felix.
Felix was going to try it for a third time.
Here's Davidson. Better let him shoot it. Got it in. Nice move.
Took it right down the lane and challenged the Kentucky inside people.
Mario Davidson, 15 points. The lead 5. On the floor. Here's G. Sparks can't catch him. He got the roll. He almost missed it. Lonzo G, 15 second half points. Suddenly the lead back to 7 with 7.5.
What a great story he is.
Sparks another three. This one no good. And Felix gives it up to Steele. Steele penetrates. Lonzo G. He's feeling it big time. 18 second half points.
Boy, Kentucky made their run, and that freshman from Alabama has answered them.
Back within, back to 10-point lead. Go inside to Morris, fouled before he went up. Mark Gottfried unhappy with that defensive stand by Alabama, but Alonzo G, the freshman from Palm Beach, loving life at the moment. Best of the conference presented by Chevrolet. Single game field goal leaders. Melvin Turpin of Kentucky in Nashville, 1984, had 18 field goals in the game. Stroud and King in second place with 15.
And Alonzo G might be putting his name in some sort of record book. He scored 18 of Alabama's last 26 points. After missing 3 shots in the first half, he's 7 for 7 in the second.
And look at the number of ways he's scoring. That was one underneath. There's the long-range 3. The catch here, terrific pass by Davidson on the cut. And then he comes right back and nails another 3 on the outside. Here's the last one. On the run out, gets the roll. What a second half for the freshman from Palm Beach, Florida.
18 second half points, almost single-handedly delivering a knockout punch to the Cats. The last 8 have been 3-pointers. But on the short end of the score, here's Morris inside. Nice shot, Randolph Morris. When they get it to him, he's been productive. He has 9 points now. Wild passing by Alabama. Steele says, let's settle down here. With 6.5 to play.
Well, it's like a volleyball game. Ball's up in the air, hanging there for a while. Perry's got Steele. That's a bad mismatch.
He's over him and hits the 3. Ronald Steele, 3-pointer. He has 11. A 3-pointer. No good. Rimmed out. Rondo with his first basket on the putback.
Good offensive rebound that time by Rondo.
Almost tied up Steele. Instead, he gets rid of it to Felix. Under 6 minutes to play.
Well, Kentucky needs some stops right now, and I don't see anything stopping this Alabama offense, particularly the freshman G.
There you see the 3-point shooting. Keeping Kentucky close. Felix lost it. Morris to Rondo. Sparks whips it inside to Perry, who lays it in.
Rondo with pressure now on Steele.
Back within 7. Do the Cats have one final charge? They have 5 minutes to do it. Davidson, double team, blocked by Morris, but right back to Felix for 3. Off the mark, and Morris one-hands the rebound. Rondo back to Sparks, 3-pointer on its way. Good!
Maybe they do have that last push.
Steele defended by Rondo. Gets a screen from Davidson.
Bad switch.
Now Rondo comes back. Davidson has it. 10 to shoot. Again, he uses the screen, and Steele knocks down the 3. Back-to-back 3-pointers by Ronald Steele, and Alabama's back up by 7.
Both of these teams making crucial shots. These are big-time moments right now for these two teams.
4 minutes remaining. Where was all this shooting in the first half?
They've been saving it.
Sparks chases down. Rondo's penetration. Dishing to Perry. He hits the 3.
Well, what was a very strange game for about 25 minutes has turned into one of the most entertaining for the last 10.
Kentucky has hit 4 shots from 3-point range in 4 attempts the last 4 possessions. Now Davidson draws the double team. Back out to Felix. Crawford chases him down against Morris. Davidson lost it. Rondo with a quick hand. Here's the outlet to Perry. All alone. Perry with a jump. Rondo made it happen. It's a 2-point game. Timeout, Alabama.
probable play of the second half. Patrick Sparks nailing that three after he had struggled all day long. He has picked it up in the second half. Great steal right here. Watch Rondo with the long pass. Good catch by Bobby Perry in the finish. It was sloppy and it was not well played until the last 10 minutes.
Kentucky shooting under 30% for the game all game long. Suddenly has found the range. They've hit their last 5 shots. And it's a 2-point margin. There's a look at the top 25 presented by Q Motor Oil. Clock shows 2 minutes 52 seconds. Alabama will put it in play in front court. Kentucky's going to double team with Sparks on Steele along with Rondo. Then they back off of it, and Steele will put it in play on the half court.
I got to tell you, the responsibility Rondo has right now is just crucial. He's got to stop Steele.
Steele penetrates, shot no good, but there's a putback by Hendricks, not there. On the floor, bodies everywhere. Brock knocked to the floor, and a pushing foul on Kentucky. It's called on Crawford. Joe Crawford with the first foul. He's committed this game. 2-point margin. Back to Nashville after this from your local SEC station.
JP Sports exclusive coverage of the 2006 SEC basketball tournament is presented by Dr. Pepper and has been brought to you by Dr. Pepper, by Alltel, by Red Lobster, by GMC, and by Bell South.
Tom Hammond, Larry Conley, Dave Baker, courtside, Nashville, Tennessee. SEC tournament quarterfinal round. Kentucky and Alabama locked up in a 2-point game. For the first 29 minutes, the shooting was abysmal. Kentucky shooting 30%, Alabama 37%. Since that time, though, things have heated up. Kentucky's hit 10 of 17, 59%. Alabama 7 of 12, 58%. Evan Brock at the free throw line for Alabama. He's a 63% free throw shooter. The senior misses, but an offensive rebound by Felix. His follow partially blocked, and Morris has it for the Cats. Now the Tide falls back on defense as Rondo walks it up. Rondo entry to Morris, and he's quickly fouled by Hendricks.
Pretty good foul right there. It's only the 15th foul committed by Alabama.
Hope you'll stay tuned for a doubleheader tonight on most of these stations. The SEC tournament presented by Dr. Pepper. Vanderbilt takes on regular season champ LSU. Arkansas against the second seed from the East, Florida. That's coming your way tonight on most of these stations. Brock to the bench as Davidson got a brief rest and returned. And you see the 3-point shooting better than 2-point shooting for the Wildcats. Sparks guarded by Felix. Rondo looking for Morris as we come down to the 2-minute mark. There's Morris. Foul as he put it up. He almost had the basket on the touch and shot. Is the third foul on Hendricks. It'll put Morris at the line for a pair.
That almost became a spectacular play. I mean, the catch, he was still in the air, didn't bring it down, was trying to funnel it into the basket before, well, to get the 3-point play. Didn't quite get it done. Go back and take a look at this. Nice catch right here. Didn't bring it down. He simply went up, kept it up there, and just couldn't quite get it to come in.
It's a good thought because Hendricks was already fouling him. He hits 2. Donna Smith applauds the clutch free throw shooting of Randolph Morris. 6th tie of the game. 2 minutes left. Steele fakes Rondo, fires a 3, no good. Tapped to Rondo. Morris tapped it to Rondo. Mark Gottfried locked up in a close one with the Wildcats.
Double high post pick there. Crawford pops out. Rondo's going to control the ball.
Looking, as always, in this second half for Morris. Sparks had it deflected for a moment. Gives it back to the hands of Rondo with 10 to shoot. Actually 11 on the shot clock as Tubby calls a timeout over on the Kentucky bench. Full timeout, he says, with 1:21 on the clock. Well, this quarterfinal game finally living up to advanced billing. And tonight we hope we'll have two good ones for you. The regular season champion LSU Tigers without Tyrus Thomas, who's injured, taking on the Vanderbilt Commodores, who beat Auburn last night. And then Joakim Noah and the Florida Gators will match up against the red-hot Arkansas Razorbacks, who beat Georgia last night to get to this quarterfinal round. Like a lot of prayers being said here in the Gaylord Entertainment. So that's Stan Key, isn't it, the former Kentucky player?
Indeed. Second game has some interest to me tonight with Arkansas and Florida, the way they've been playing right now.
Elvis is here wearing blue, as luck would have it.
Pretty far from Memphis. With 11 seconds left to go now in this possession, Kentucky has a chance to run the play. I've got to believe they're going to look at Morris down inside.
Kentucky has scored on their last 6 possessions, when it looked like Alabama had control of the game thanks to Alonzo G. Kentucky has come storming back, and Tubby Smith calls this play with 11 on the shot clock. Sparks trying to get away from Felix. Instead, they throw it into Rondo, looking for Morris. Perry takes it on the dribble. Little floater's good by Bobby Perry. Kentucky has its first lead since they were up 31-29 with 16 and a half left.
Now Rondo's defensive work on Steele is crucial for Kentucky.
1 minute left. Hendricks, the hook shot, no good. Here's Steele, though, off the offensive glass. And Alabama has it right back. Steele penetrating. Perry picks him up. Shot blocked by Perry. Rondo has it. Rondo with a little hesitation move. A penetration and back to Sparks. And Alabama has to foul. And Felix fouls Sparks, a 72% free throw shooter. Bobby Perry comes up big.
I think this was the second option. He actually was trying to feed Morris right here. Instead, decided to go ahead and shoot it. He missed one of those earlier, and he came right back right down the lane to drop it in.
And then had the blocked shot, which resulted in Kentucky's possession.
Perry with a good afternoon.
Patrick Sparks at the line. Only 3 of 12 shooting. He has 9 points. Free throw good. 3-point advantage. He could make it a 2-possession game. Jari Lean, heroics in the first half for the lethargic Wildcats. Sparks sinks them both.
2 possessions now.
Bama's been dry since the 4:15 mark, as Kentucky was earlier. Steele, that's a 3. No good. Rebounded by Rondo. They have to foul. Got it to Sparks. And a foul called on Alabama. Wow. Alonzo G on fire. 18 points in the second half. Looked like he was single-handedly going to carry Alabama to victory in this quarterfinal round. But Kentucky kept scrapping. Their 3-point shooting got them back in it. And here they are with 25.9. And Rondo at the line.
Tom, Alabama has gone through a real drought the last couple of minutes.
They haven't scored since the 4:15 mark. And remember, they went the last 4.5 minutes of the first half without any points. Rondo, a rare free throw mate. Well, you figure both these teams on the way to the NCAA tournament. But it looked like Alabama had things wrapped up before Kentucky came back after a dismal game in the first half, about as bad as you've ever seen Kentucky play. There's G missing a shot. Morris has the rebound. And Kentucky will have the win. Sparks all alone. As bad as Kentucky was in the first half, what are the chances of them winning this game? Wow. Alonzo G. partially blocked. That'll do it. Well, 4 seconds left as it's knocked out of bounds. Our Red Lobster, nothing but net shot of the game. Coming up as Kentucky wins it. This is the shot that put them ahead.
And it was Bobby Perry going down the lane, first thinking to pass to Morris, decided to go ahead and put it up. That one got Kentucky the lead. Bobby Perry with a good afternoon.
And, of course, then he made a block on the defensive end to get Kentucky the possession right back. Shagari Aline, an unlikely hero in the first half. In the second half, Sparks and Rondo, who had not scored at all. Suddenly, Sparks found the three-point range. Perry hit a clutch three. As improbable a comeback as you've ever seen, as Kentucky comes storming from behind to win it 68-61. They scored on their last 9 possessions of the game and ended on a 21-3 run to advance to the semifinals tomorrow afternoon, and a date with the Gamecocks of South Carolina, who earlier today upset the Tennessee Volunteers. What a finish. Kentucky wins it. Stay tuned tonight now for more action as the SEC tournament continues. So long, everybody.